What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a chat about Yamato. I'm starting to see over on Twitter a bunch of Yamato decks popping up here and there over in Japan. And I'm not saying that Yamato is the best deck in the metagame, but I absolutely am saying that Yamato came out in OP-06. In Japan right now, they're currently playing in OP-08. It's been a while. I have been waiting for Yamato to potentially become a very good deck, and I feel like we are right on the precipice here of Yamato potentially becoming a very, very good deck. So I'm going to talk about Yamato, I'm going to show you an example list, and I'm going to suggest that you consider having a look at this one. Also, the prize card was Yamato, so Yamato winning a Yamato prize card makes me very, very happy. But I'm just saying, this is one to keep an absolutely very close eye on. So starting off then with the leader, I've always thought the leader was fantastically powerful. What we've got here is double attack, so your leader can deal 2 damage, that's ridiculous. And then activate main once per turn. If your opponent's got 3 or fewer life cards, then you get to give 2 Rested Dawn to one of your characters. So one of your characters gets plus 2k every turn, plus you got a leader with double attack. I cannot be the only one that thinks this is a real example of untapped potential. I adore this card. So, with that borne in mind, what are we playing with? Well, we got ourselves Shura here, generally played as a playset, because of course Shura here is your Sky Island Searcher. So you probably need to play a bunch of them. 2 cost 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and on play you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a Sky Island type other than Shura, add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. If you're playing a bunch of Sky Island cards, and spoiler alert, we are totally playing a bunch of Sky Island cards here, Shura becomes an absolute must play because it gets you what you need. Gets you your Sky Island cards, which sounds like a good idea to me. Now, we've also got ourselves a playset of Holly here. Now, I love Holly. Big dog. It's a general vanilla dog, right? 3 cost 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000, nothing special. Except when you go and have a look at Ohm, and then it starts making a lot more sense. Because Ohm from OP-05, if you got 2 or fewer life cards, you gain 1,000 power, which is nice. Puts you up to a vanilla stat line of 4/6 counter plus 1k. But on play, you look at 5 cards on the top of your deck, find a Holly and add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then play a Holly. Now, it's very important here that you search a Holly and play a Holly, but it doesn't have to be the same one. This is important because if you've got Holly in your hand, and then you search and don't find a Holly, you still get to play the Holly in your hand for free. Holly is a dog. Holly is awesome. Big fan. Elsewhere, there is another 2 cost we haven't had a look at yet, so maybe we probably should. We've got ourselves Onami. And Onami is a stunning card that a lot of decks are playing. If you're looking at Nell decks right now, you're going to see a bunch of this one in there as well. 2 cost 3,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And we've got on play, your leader or one of your characters gains banish for the turn. Bearing in mind that your leader has double attack. So giving your leader banish when it's already got double attack means that you get to take away 2 of your opponent's life and they just go, your opponent gets no advantage from that. Yeah, that's pretty gosh darn good. Also got a trigger that KOs one of your opponent's characters at a cost of 5 or less, which is a great trigger. But just to be clear, generally speaking, I mean, everything about this card is great, honestly. It's just a great card. Now, we've also got ourselves Izzo here. Now, you might be thinking, oh yeah, that's right. It's a dual color leader. It is, but this is only one of 2 green cards that we generally see played in this deck. This is very much a yellow deck with a hint of green, rather than an actual proper job dual color deck. It's basically a yellow deck that gets to play a couple of particularly good green cards, like the aforementioned Izzo. 3 cost 3,000 power, counter plus 2,000. Always important to have some good counter plus 2k. And on play, rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. That could be resting a blocker so they're not able to block you, or it could just be resting a character so you're able to take them out. Either way, this works pretty gosh darn nicely. But then going straight back to yellow cards, we've got ourselves a Frankie. Who doesn't love Frankie? I love Frankie. Frankie's pretty awesome. Specifically here, we're talking about the Frankie from OP-07. 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 2k. Again, you need some counter plus 2k, so this is important. And no skill, but as a trigger, you draw a card, and then if you've got 1 or less life, you play this card. If you get down low on life, this comes out your life, and you get to draw a card and get a 5k body on the board for free. That sounds like a win for me. We've then also got Porcus the Ace. Now, this is the one from Starter Deck 13, the Three Brothers Starter Deck. And this is a pretty good card. 5 cost, 7,000 power. On play, if you've got 2 or less life, this character gains Rush. So, like the Frankie, really at its best when you've got lower life, but still a very powerful card. And it's a 5 cost, so it's not going to be coming down turn 1 anyway. And then a single copy of Shirahoshi. Because Shirahoshi's brilliant, right? Because on play, you draw free Trash 2, and as a trigger, you play this card. Like, it's a 5 cost, 0 power. It's horrible for power, and it's only got counter plus 1k, but you can draw free Trash 2, which is really good, and in theory, hopefully, this is coming out of your life, so it's just a body on the board and a draw free Trash 2. Although, honestly, even the body on the board is not that important with 0 power. Shirahoshi, called Wimpy Hoshi by Luffy in the manga, you can kind of see why in the card game she's got 0 power all the time, but just being able to draw like that is brilliant. And then your big guy here is Hody Jones, the only other green card other than Izzo in the entire deck. We have exactly 2, and that's it. But we've got 7 cost, 8,000 power, so it's pretty big. We've got Rush, which is good for putting on pressure nice and early. You can attack the turn you play it. And on play, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Dom, then add a card from the top of your life to your hand. Picking up your own life is not ideal, but again, we've got cards I've already shown you that will be totally okay with this. But it's just a big, powerful character with Rush a lot of the time. That sounds pretty good to me. Now, in terms of event cards, I'd actually lie to you. There's a green event card as well, so there's free. But you get the point here. This is largely a yellow deck. And in terms of event cards here, we've got ourselves You Are the One Who Should Disappear. 0 cost card. As a counter, trash a card from your hand to give one of your leaders or characters plus 3k. But as a trigger, if you've got 0 life, add a card from the top of your deck to the top of your life and trash a card from your hand. It's a 0 cost card that can either give you plus 3k counter, which is good, or can literally put a card on top of your life, which is also clearly absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this seems like a pretty good idea to me. We've also got ourselves Blaze Slice here, 1 cost as a main or counter. Give 1k to your leader or one of your characters, and then if your opponent's got 2 or less life, rest one of their characters with a cost of 4 or less. And as a trigger, you rest one of their characters with a cost of 4 or less. And we've already seen with Izzo that we like resting characters, so this sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. The other yellow 1 cost we got is El Thor here. That is your counter up to your leader or one of your characters, gains 2k for this battle, and then if your opponent's got 2 or less life, they gain an extra 2k, which for 1 cost is crazy good. And then as a trigger, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the number of your opponent's life. So just being able to KO something off of a trigger honestly sounds like a pretty good deal to me. We've then got a single green event card here. The very snappily titled Demon Aura 9 Sword Star Asura Demon 9 Flash. And 2 cost as a main, up to your leader or characters, one of them, gains 3k for this turn. Then you can rest one of your characters with a cost of 4 or more, and if you do, rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. We're not playing many green cards here, but the ones we are really taking advantage of resting our opponent's characters. But again, turning off blockers with a leader that's got double attack and banish, you see where we're going here. Turn off their blockers, power it up, they can't block, you've got a powerful enough attack that they can't counter it, and then you take off 2 life and banish. I mean, come on, that sounds fun. As a trigger, again, you rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this seems like fun. And you'll notice there's no cards in this deck that are from OP-08. Well, I would say all Premium Booster 01, but that's not out yet. There's no OP-08 cards in this deck. Look at the list. You could play this right now. This deck is completely legal right now in the OP-07 meta. So I'm just saying, maybe give it a bit of a go. Maybe I'm getting too excited about Yamato. Maybe I want this card to be too good. But I'm telling you right now, I am a believer. I've always thought that the leader skill on this character was redonk. And I just think this could be fun. That's what I think. I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.